Let's see how this works.
Oh, here. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about who I am. So my name is Alfredo Muccino. I'm Italian, although I was born in Colombia, and now I live in California, which makes me confused. I work in Silicon Valley, and I'm very lucky to be there. It's an absolutely amazing place. Very lucky to be at a place where innovation is celebrated and where it is the birthplace of so many amazing brands and so many amazing companies. So I've been doing this for about 30 years now. And I did some different things over the years in terms of the company. But at about 10 years ago, my partner and I decided to become a branding agency and to focus on brands. The reason we did that is because we're surrounded with these incredibly smart people, making innovative products, computers, and all sorts of different technologies, and we're not that smart. So we thought we'd tackle something that would be a little bit easier, like brands. So that's where we focus our business in, and that's how we thought we could make a difference in the world. We would help companies build brands. And what that means is that we help companies develop relationships of trust that create preference and loyalty for their products and services and for what we call a brand. This, was born out of the challenge that in Silicon Valley, especially when we started out so many years ago, products were being built and people were very excited about what we call speeds and feeds. The features, that these products were made with, and they were less about how those products would influence people's lives. But the truth is, these products, had the power to really change our lives. The way that we work, the way that we play, the way that we consume information, the way we connect with each other. And today, when we think of brands like Intel, Google, Facebook, and Apple, we think about them from a different perspective than just what they do, but what they represent and the connections that they make with us. And that's what the power of brand is about. So we talked about it in terms of taking companies from bland, which was the speeds and feeds conversation, to brand, which is more of an emotional relationship. And it worked pretty well. So our idea was successful from the point of view that we got more and more clients, our company grew, our clients were successful at some level, and we took credit for a lot of their success, and of course we had nothing to do whenever they didn't do well. And about 10 years went by, and 10 years later, our company looked a little different. It grew, and we had a number of offices, and my role became different, and I hired somebody to do what I was doing, and it gave me some time to think and some time to reflect on what I was doing. And a lot of things happened in the process. Life, children, death, and all sorts of things. And as I thought about it, I thought about really what is it that I do, this kind of sense of introspection about your purpose in life. And what I realized is that what I did was really pretty shallow. What I did was help companies look good. So what we did is we did makeovers. I was the guy that, companies would come to and say, I gotta go to a party, and, which is kind of like a metaphor for, say, an introduction of a product or a launch, and I gotta look good. so Alfredo, could you help me look good? Help me, maybe I can change my hairstyle, and maybe I get some new clothes, and that's what we did. We sat around with them. We said, okay, well, what kind of, how do you want to look? What do you think would work in terms of strategically looking good? And so we figured that out with them, and then we would make them, be more colorful or more elegant or more something. And so they would go to the party, and they'd go walk through the door, and people would notice them, and they they got attention. But the reality is that seems very superficial. When I started looking at it over a period of time, I realized that it just didn't seem enough. That wasn't really changing anything other than something that was in the exterior only. And I believe that we have an opportunity and a responsibility as designers and as business people to do something important and more meaningful. So I was unhappy. This is a little unhappy sign in Silicon Valley. So I decided that we would make some changes, and we came up with some new ideas. And we worked as a company to think about what we could do differently. And we decided that we were not satisfied by making companies look better. Our ultimate goal is to help companies be better. And this may sound really simple, and in some ways it is, but at the same time, it's a very difficult thing to accomplish. So that's what we call real transformation. So it's not about the outside, really, but it's something that happens on the inside. It's not about changing what you look like, but changing who you are, changing your value system. So transformation is real change. And real change is authentic, and it's meaningful, and makes a big difference. Now in Silicon Valley, as I think all over the world, Apple is looked at as a pretty amazing company. And Steve Jobs, who unfortunately died not too long ago, and it was a very sad moment for all of us who have been touched, by what he's done. He wanted to change the world. When he started the company, I don't think he really wanted to just sell computers. He just wanted to create an opportunity for people to engage with technology in a way that their lives would be changed for the better. And that was meaningful. So that's what allowed Apple to be not just a great company, but an amazing brand. A brand that has then evolved, and has had the opportunity to evolve from making things like computers to making music and music playing devices, phones, tablets, and tomorrow's TVs, who knows, cars maybe. So what does it mean to be an amazing company? So this is the way that we look at it. It means having engaged employees, employees that care, employees that understand what you want to do, employees that can get behind those ideas and help you get there. It means making a commitment to making great products, products that people need, products that work well, products that are made with integrity. It means, as a result of that, to satisfy certain needs and to create, customers whose lives are more delighted with those products and those experiences that you help create for them. And as a result, they buy your products and they're willing to pay more for them, which, creates a positive effect on the bottom line. As a business, we do need to make a profit. And when you make a profit, you have, if you're a public company, happy shareholders, which is another, something that's important. And because, people invest in you in order for you to do well so that there's a return. And if you're an amazing company, you do it in a manner that is good for the environment, that is respectful and responsible in terms of how we use our natural resources. And lastly, to be good also means to be supportive of the communities, to to realize the role that we play in our society is important in terms of the people that help us get there and the people that live around us. So these are the things that we feel are our definition of what makes an amazing company or an amazing brand. And the way that you get there is you have to start, just like Steve Jobs did with making the world a better place, or changing the world. You have to start with a clear sense of purpose. Again, I like to keep the language somewhat simple, but the ideas are more complex than that, and that's what makes them powerful. In business, all too often, people get confused on why they do things that they do, and they sometimes, start to translate purpose with money. Purpose is not money. Money may be a side benefit of having a purpose and building a business and making a difference. But money is not the purpose. When money becomes the purpose, things seem to fall apart pretty fast. Purpose is about meaning. Purpose is about something that has much more value than money. Meaning lasts and touches people for a long time. Money, as it's very evident in my life, money comes in and goes out very fast. So what's important about this from branding perspective is that when companies define their purpose clearly and they tie it to something that has meaning, it leads to inspiration. It inspires the people that work at those companies. And inspiration, when you have that along all the companies, leads to alignment, meaning that now you have all these people who are the engaged employees who are working together with a common sense of purpose because they're proud of what they're doing and they're doing something that, that makes a difference in the world. So when you have this alignment and you have this inspiration and you have a desire to do something, that enables the potential for innovation. So inspiration to us, can also lead, to innovation. And when you have inspiration and alignment together, then you build a culture of innovation. Now, what's important about this is that a culture of innovation is about, creating the opportunity for these people to work together to continuously innovate. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like this, it's not about, you're asking someone to innovate. It's about people collaborating and continuously doing that. So the end result is that in order for brands, to become amazing, to be the kind of brands that do all the things that were on the list, the key to it is to build an internal culture of innovation. So the secret, really, is not to look to the outside, not to worry about so much about what you look like, to the marketplace, but it's to look on the inside, to the values, then lead a company to do great things. So again, real transformation starts on the inside, and like I said, these may seem like simple ideas, but they're somewhat difficult to come to life. If I had $1 for every one of our clients who came to us and said, I want to be like Apple, I would be a very, very rich man. Unfortunately, none of those companies really wanted to be like Apple. They just wanted to look like Apple. And that's the difference. So we need to be authentic in our desires to make a difference. We need to be authentic in the way that we run our companies. We need to be authentic in the way we treat our employees, the way we treat our customers, we treat our communities. And that's really, the key to making a difference across the board. Authenticity is sustainable, and that's what feels good. So in putting together this presentation, I was asked, to keep in mind, the purpose of TED, and as Leo explained, we're not here to give you necessarily a lot of answers. potentially to raise some challenges. The purpose here is really to inspire you to think about what you're doing and hopefully do it in a way that it will make a positive impact on your business, in your lives, and in your communities. And I hope to have done a little bit of that for you today. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And I'm done with that. Thank you. Okay, thank you.